who inspired you enough to pursue a career inside this industry that is so atypical, not to Canadians specifically, but to the rest of the world? Like, okay, a pro wrestler, like really, why that decision? So I want to know your story. I want to know who inspired you enough to do this for the rest of your life.
Well, I have to say my dad did. Ever since I was little, I saw him, start his training, do wrestling in Canada, wrestling in Japan, wrestling in the States. And I got to see it from a really different viewpoint. I got to see my dad transform and learn and travel and kind of see the business from the other side, not really through the TV, but more from behind the scenes. And, my dad is such a kind, hardworking, disciplined person. And I feel like watching him embody all these characters and these values was something like I've been able to look up to, and something I've been able to kind of be inspired by myself. Like being his daughter, I'm very proud of my dad, and I want him to be proud of me too.
I'll translate to Spanish. ¿Quién inspiró a Bianca Carelli a ser luchadora? Sencillo, su papá, el hombre de la cobra, Santino Marella, lo vio crecer, lo vio como su héroe, pero ella vio el lado de la industria no a través del televisor, sino lo vio backstage, viajando con su papá a todas partes. Veía que su papá de momento estaba en Japón, estaba en Estados Unidos, estaba en Canadá, estaba en todo el mundo. Y ver a su papá cumplir su sueño con tanta pasión fue lo que la inspiró a ella a convertirse en quien es hoy día, y es eso mismo, lo que hacía su papá, una luchadora. One thing is dreaming to be a pro wrestler, and another completely different, it's training. Your dad he's known for being a really, really tough trainer. Like, I've heard some horror stories because, okay, they saw the funny, goofy side on TV, but the guys that got him into the battle arts gym, they got Anthony Carelli, the judo fighter, the tough SOB. So, for you, how was that experience training for the first time? What do you remember of your first bumps? And what do you thought of your dad, on that role, completely different in this case as a trainer?
Well, for the first 3 months that I was wrestling, I actually trained under Tyson Dukes. So when I went to my dad, I kind of had a little bit more of an idea. So I didn't start right from scratch with him, which was definitely a good thing because he he's strict, but not really strict. It's just he cares so much that his students do a good job. So if they do a bad job, he's very like old fashioned. Like he yells at you or, and that's good because then you want to do better next time. But I mean, I've also done judo with him, and that was more fun because, at the end of judo, he would always fight me. I never win, but it's fun. It's a challenge. And the difference, though, between like training judo and training wrestling is he takes wrestling training a lot more seriously. He picks a lot more things that he wants to be perfect. And, not just for me, but for all of his students. And it's because he really cares and he really wants everybody to value their work and, show that they care about the business, which is really important.
I'll translate that to Spanish. En el caso de Bianca, ella no entrenó directamente con su papá los primeros 3 meses, entrenó con Tyson Dukes, que fue algo pues bastante positivo porque llega con experiencia al Ballet Arts Academy de su papá. Entonces cuando llega allí ve un lado completamente distinto, pero es que ella dice, mi papá es estricto, es una persona estricta, pero es porque él valora esto, porque él ama esta industria, y tuvo la oportunidad de verlo como judoka, como un peleador de judo, y entrenar con él. Nunca ganó una pelea, ni una, pero entrenaba con él y vio el lado de su papá como entrenador de lucha libre. Esa pasión, ese fuego que veía, la motivaba a ella a continuar. Do you thought when you start training that things were going to be maybe less complicated? Because I trained wrestling for 2 years and I hated every single minute of it. So for you, how was your experience? Did you thought, first month, was this for you? Do you thought quitting? How was that mental state for Bianca Carelli, those first months training?
So the first months that I did train was with Tyson. And I remember thinking like, can I really do this? Like, is this something I can do? And I remember the first couple classes being nervous, but everybody was so kind and everyone started from scratch. And people were saying, when I started, I had no idea what I was doing. It's okay. You're going to learn. And that's something that I've tried to always remember. with everything or anything that I do, you have to be ready to fail. And then you embrace the failure, because you're never going to do anything and be perfect right away. And if you do, that's amazing, but that's not most often. So it was just a matter of being able to build my confidence and, you know, have people that I look up to tell me they do believe in me. And that's what really helped push me forward.
I'll translate that. Le pregunto sobre el estado mental durante los primeros meses de la industria. Por lo general no es sencillo. Ella dice, tienes que prepararte para fracasar. You need to prepare to fail. ¿Por qué? Porque todo el tiempo vas a fracasar. Nadie es perfecto, nadie lo hace de la primera. Y si lo haces de la primera, muy bien por ti, pero no todo el mundo tiene esa misma suerte. Y entonces esa experiencia de ella entrenando con Tyson los primeros meses, ella se preguntaba, ¿verdaderamente esto es para mí? Yo quiero hacer esto, quiero pasar por todo este sacrificio, y lo continúa haciendo hasta que lo perfeccionó, y hoy día cumple su sueño y es luchadora profesional. Usually I've heard both sides of the stories. I've heard parents that are in the wrestling industry that don't want their children to be a part of it, to be protective, but I've heard the stories of fathers or parents inside the wrestling industry that want their kids to do this and they're open to it. Do your parents, both of you, your mom and your dad, supported this decision?
Well, my dad, absolutely. You know, he's always liked that I have a passion for entertainment. I like to perform. I love a crowd audience. I like the energy. So he's always been really supportive. My mom, she wants me to do more like academic stuff. She doesn't really understand my love of the entertainment, but I try to explain it to her. And I think she's starting to understand it, but you know, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. Like, I have to seize what I want to do. And even if neither one of my parents supported it, or if both of them supported it, at the end of the day, it's up to me to make that decision and do what I want to do.
That's the right thing. I'll translate that. Le pregunta a Bianca si sus papás respaldaron esta decisión, porque hemos escuchado los dos lados de la historia. Ella dice, su papá, claro que sí, Anthony la respaldaba completamente en todo, pero en el caso de su mamá, mamá quería que hiciera cosas más académicas, algo un poquito más tradicional, vamos a decirlo de esta manera. Y ella dice, bueno, no importa si uno me hubiese respaldado o los dos me hubiesen respaldado o ninguno me hubiese respaldado, esto era lo de ella. Tal vez su mamá en aquel momento no entendía su pasión por el entretenimiento deportivo como lo sentía ella, pero ella continúa haciendo esto. Ahora su mamá va entendiendo poco a poco, y esta es su meta, esto es lo que ella quiere hacer, y esto, créanme, que es lo que ella va a hacer por el resto de su vida.